So when last we left off with Williams Racing, we had just gotten finished with the Hungaroring, and as you can see here, the Hungaroring was won by Lewis Hamilton, and as you can see, both of the Mercedes boys at the top of the table. Valtteri Bottas currently your points leader by just 14 points. Yeah, just basically spin the wheel. Who's DNFing this time? Because there has been a DNF every single race this year, which has prevented me from finishing in last place. We'll show you exactly what my race standings have been over the course of these last, 13 races? Oh, I'm dying, chat. Oh, goddamn. Oh, god damn it. I'll be okay. I just had a little liquid go down, go down the wrong tube. Oh, geez. Don't try to drink and talk fast at the same time. Just pointing that out there. Had the liquid going down the wrong tube. Oh, but as you can see, it's very, very pairy. Mercedes 1-2, Ferrari 3-4, Red Bull 5-6, McLaren 7-8. God damn it. I'm okay. It's not the Rona. It's definitely not the Rona. But as you can see, there are 3 drivers that have not come away with points at all this season. As you would expect, both Williams drivers have not done it. But also Kevin Magnussen has yet to score points this season. Roman Grosjean, though. Roman Grosjean has finished in the top 10 twice, allowing Haas to get 3 points. And we were so close. We were so close to the Hungaroring. I believe the time difference between George Russell in 10th place, which was Roman Grosjean, actually, I think it was a second. Russell was just only a second off of scoring the first points of this Williams career save. It was so damn close. It would have been so awesome. Am I drinking Corona? No, I'm actually drinking apple cider. Angry Orchard, hard cider, the good shit. But yeah, we got the Belgian Grand Prix going on today. We're only doing one race. We're not going to do the Monza. We're not doing the Italian Grand Prix. We're saving that until Monday. What AI are we on? We are on 95. 80 for practice, but 95 for the actual racing. So yeah, that's what we got going on. And as I said before, as of right now, I am not going to be spending my R&D points. I'm going to be saving them up until the regulations come down, which is the Japanese Grand Prix. So I've got 5 Grand Prix to save up R&D points, that when the regulations come down, then I will, go through the list of what departments got hit, regulate them all over to next season, and then go hit up the departments that didn't get touched as far as regulations go, and then start building up from there. So, like I said, looking at the R&D tree, more than likely the departments that are going to get hit are going to be the aero and the chassis. It just makes the most sense because I have the most built up on them. I know it's an RNG. I know it's a random number in the background as to which ones get hit, but let's be honest. Is the RNG going to hit the one that's only got 1 on it? Or is the RNG going to hit the one that's got 7 built up on it? Let's be real here. It's going to go after the chassis. Am I certain I'm getting a regulation change? Tune, I always bank on it. Here's the thing. Obviously, we don't know. But the regulation change either comes down at the Russian Grand Prix or the Japanese Grand Prix. So I am not taking any chances, and I'm going to save up my R&D points in the event that the regulations do come down. And we won't know about the regulations until, I believe I always get an email stating the regulations right around Singapore, Russia. That's about when I get the email saying that there's going to be a regulation change for departments. So, like I said, I'm not going to take my chances. I will just start banking R&D points. So in the event that the regulation comes in, then I will make those changes and then start building up other departments. If there is no regulation, as we had seen in my second season of my team career, then I will just take all that stockpile R&D points and just go hog wild with building out my car. But, like I said, I'm not taking any chances. I might as well just start building it up now so I don't lose my progress. I mean, take a look at what I've built up right now. I don't want to lose any of this progress, especially on the chassis and the aero. When the chassis and the aero on this car are just so tremendously bad, I don't want to lose any of this progress. So, it's better for me to, at this point in time, start building up a deposit of R&D, so that if anything does happen, I will be there to convert them over for next season. Either Singapore, Russia, or Japan. I've only had it Russia or Japan. If it happens at Singapore, that's news to me, because I didn't think it could go that early. But I've had it at Russia Japan was Season 1, and Russia was Season 3 of my my team career. So I'm expecting it to be around there. 13 players on the Jags have been on the COVID list. Oh, great. Football is going to go away. I have a very strong feeling that football is going to either go away or get put on hiatus for like a couple weeks just to get everything sorted. Actually, there has been talk of the NFL playoffs happening in a bubble. Kind of like what is happening in the MLB right now, what happened with the Stanley Cup hockey playoffs, the basketball playoffs. There's talk of the NFL moving to a bubble for the playoffs. I think that would actually help out. It would absolutely help out to quell any sort of COVID cases. I mean, you take a look across all sports of the playoffs that have happened in bubbles, the NHL had zero, not a single COVID case when they were put in the bubble. Granted, they were put in Canada. And of course, Canada didn't really have a lot of COVID cases to begin with. Notwithstanding, they were put in bubbles in Canada, and not a single NHL player got COVID. So good on for the NHL. They are the model league to what all the other leagues need to strive for. Because I believe there were a few cases in basketball. I'm pretty sure there definitely have been a few cases in baseball, even though now they're starting to move into the bubble. But yeah, if the NFL wants to make sure that they have the playoffs and the Super Bowl on time, or at the very worst pushed back a month, they need to figure out a bubble plan. Because going to 30 different NFL cities, technically 28 different NFL cities, is a one-way ticket to getting the disease, spreading the disease, and oh hey, you're shutting down the league again. There needs to be a bubble. A bubble won't work because there's too many players? Well, something's got to happen. Jacksonville Jaguars, who are owned by the owner of Fulham Football Club, Shad Khan. Fun fact, if you did not know that. Whose son, Tony Khan, of course, owns AEW. All Elite Wrestling. So yeah, that's what we got going on as far as our R&D tree goes. As far as my engine is concerned, I just recently picked up a new ICE. I should also start looking into getting new MGUs, both K and H, but I don't know when I want to pull the trigger on getting new ones for both. It's going to happen soon. It's going to happen sooner rather than later. Actually, if anything, the turbocharger is probably going to be one that I will get a new part of today, because it's at 44%, and I really don't want to keep a part around that's going to, become higher than 50% usage, because once it goes over 50% usage, its usefulness drops significantly. And once it hits 65%, there is a higher, exponentially, gradually increasing chance that it will break, and your engine will blow, and you have to get a new part then. But at this point in time, I'm moving to practice engine stuff. So at this point in time, I am pretty much of the opinion that turbocharger is going to be the brand new engine part that I will get for this race. So this third turbocharger that I have, that is going to be my practice turbocharger. Everything else, as you can see, is not changed. There's no facilities being built out. Oh, are you serious? Of course, one of my aero parts did not make it. God damn it! Of course, one of my aero parts did not get developed. So you know what? I'm going to make an addendum so that when I do get the R&D points from this practice session for Spa, I will only put R&D points into this front wing cascade so that it can get built out, and then I'm not going to touch the rest of the tree, because I need the aero. And kind of the same thing here with the chassis. I kind of need the chassis to be built out. So, yeah, I'm going to need to throw some points in there just to make sure that gets fully built out. When is that chassis game? Is September 1st, September 9th, which is in a month? Holy shit. In a goddamn month. That's a long time. Alright, so with that being said... Oh, Season Break. I totally forgot about Season Break. Hey, with that being said, we did get the weekly resources, so we could build this out. Alright, so 0% failure chance. It will get done after the Italian Grand Prix. That is for damn sure. Will get done. Shad Khan was the one who spent £100 million to try and get promoted. Hey, fair credit to him. They did get promoted. Alright, so nothing else is going to get touched. So I'm actually just crossing my fingers right now in the hopes that in fact, both of these parts for the chassis get built out and not fail. So I'm just crossing my fingers that they won't fail. But anyway, let's get into the race weekend here with Spa. You gotta love that. Good old Marvel vs. Capcom music. Gotta love it. Oh, I'm already noticing some rain here at the Belgian Grand Prix. It's not a Belgian Grand Prix without rain now, is it? It looks like it's going to be a very sopping wet qualifying, but what's the actual race going to be like? They don't tell us. They don't tell us! You're killing me, Smalls. They're not telling us what the weather is going to be like. So we'll look at on practice 1 and see what the weather is going to be like for the race. But as you can see, it is going to be full sopping wet for qualifying. So that's not good. Actually, before I do anything, let me tweet out that we've moved over to F1. So just give me one hot second. Moved on to the Williams career. This time traveling to a very wet Belgian Grand Prix. And of course, you can do me a tremendous favor. If you can retweet that out, I would be eternally grateful. Just get more people watching. More people looking at the stream. Alright, let's get into this practice. It's gonna be a god-awful mess. Hey, Toon Fan, thanks for the retweet and as well as the Twitter follow. This is gonna be a goddamn mess. And I love Spa as a track. I do love this track a lot. It is in my top 5. But with the Williams, I'm not going to go fast. We know this already.
I've had a chat with Carl about the new parts, and we're happy that they've been integrated into the car okay. With any luck, you'll be able to feel the improvement, so give them a try.
It's like wet qualifying, wet race or not, it doesn't matter. Oh yeah, that's right. I want to take a look and see what the qualifying is going to look like. So yeah, it's going to be heavy rain for qualifying. And as far as the race goes, okay, there's going to be a little spattering of rain in the middle of the race. Cloudy with a little spattering of rain in the middle. We don't know when or for how long, but there is going to be a little spattering of rain in the actual race. You talk about how based on goals you have a £20 million per goal player. Is this Callum Wilson? If you're talking about Callum Wilson, what happened to him today? Because I had him in my my fantasy lineup. Oh, Jolinton. I don't have Jolinton in my fantasy lineup. But then again, Newcastle were taking on Manchester United, so As far as, oh, why did Callum not score? I think we know the answer. I do too, Danny. I'm not too keen on driving around it in a Williams because I'm going to be slow as fuck. That swerve off the road is because I was looking at chat, sorry. Whoa, how the fuck did I miss that? Yeah, it's always when you drop players that they do well, Tykesman. Kind of right there with you. Anyway, Danny, how you doing today? This fine evening. Yeah, Tyson, I did that before this week. There we go. Perfect. Almost perfect. Purple. For most everything. 4 goals and 44 appearances for Joe Linton. Yeah, why did you buy him again? Why was that a guy that you bought? Was that completely a Mike Ashley signing or what? Or was that a Steve Bruce signing? We are talking about Joe Linton, right? We're still talking about Joe Linton? Signed before Bruce took over, all right? One good season in the Bundesliga, and Mike Ashley took a look at it and said, that's the guy I want on my team. Well, it hasn't really worked out now, has it? You signed under Benitez, yeah. I think I'm still amazed that Rafa Benitez was a manager that you guys had. I know that's recent history, but it still feels weird that Rafa chose Newcastle and stayed with them when you guys got relegated. Like, give credit to him that he didn't just bolt off for the next job. That he stayed with Newcastle after the relegation. About as weird as Carlo going to Everton. Yeah, that's kind of weird too, but yeah, I'll take it. I'm sure that's exactly what the Newcastle fans were saying too. When they got Rafa, it's like, hey, we'll take it. Yeah, Everton fans like myself are completely ecstatic with how Carlo has been at the club. T.H. Martin, I think the fact that Portugal is a new track for everybody, I think that's going to be a very leveling of the playing field. So I don't think Lewis will get 92 there. We might see Bottas win. We might see Max win. But I'm going to go out there and say that Lewis does not get 92 at Portugal. Because it's a track that hasn't been raced on in F1 setting since 96. And yes, I know drivers are practicing it. They're looking at it in their sims. They're going to get practice more on it next Friday. But I am of the opinion that Lewis is not going to get 92 at Portimao. He may get it at him. Like, to be fair, he may not get it at Portimao. He very well might get it at him. Oh yeah, we knew that before the season even started, Danny. As long as Lewis is still racing in F1, he pretty much has the championship locked down. As long as Lewis is still racing and still driving for Mercedes, it might as well just start etching Lewis's name on the trophy. Because he is not going to lose. It is his title to lose. Which I am of the opinion that I'd like to see him retire after he gets all of mixed records. And of course, he would be taking over as the new #1 all-time as far as drivers' titles next year. Given he wins this year, which he will, but next year he'd be taking over that throne. It's of my opinion that he should just retire, because what else does he have to prove? Once he takes down all of Schumacher's records, what does he really have to prove? Retire and let somebody else come in. Let somebody else have a chance at trying to win a driver's title. Once Hamilton goes, it's going to be wide open. If Bottas stays in Mercedes, yeah, you would say that Bottas has a good chance of, following Hamilton and becoming the next multi-time drivers champ. But then you take a look at everyone else behind him. You have Verstappen, you have Leclerc, you have George Russell who could move into Mercedes. You got Lando Norris, you got Lance Stroll. You got plenty of these youngsters that could all vie for that driver's title and already have a good chance at getting the driver's title. And I'm only looking at people under 30, okay? Because I know you might say, oh, Daniel Ricciardo might have himself a good chance at it, but I'm looking at drivers under 30, personally. You got all these drivers that are going to be in the sport for a long time, and every single one of them has a chance to win the driver's title. Because all of them have the ability, and have shown to have the ability to not just win races, but compete for a driver's title. But like I said, you got to get Lewis Hamilton out of Mercedes, out of F1, period, in order to open that door to allow these other drivers chances to win the driver's title. As long as Lewis is there, it's pretty much Lewis's title lives. As much as I hate to admit it. Dude, at this point in time, he can market. He could sign up to all these sponsorship deals. He can market himself, market his likeness, and get money off of that. You figure at this point in time, he's got enough money. It's almost kind of like the Tiger Woods thing, where, yeah, Tiger Woods is making more money off of his sponsorship deals than he is making off of golf at this point in time. And that was the case long before the scandal and whatnot that caused him to have his fall from grace. He was already making more money off the sponsorship deals than he ever was making golf. I feel like Lewis Hamilton could do the same thing. Lewis does not need to race anymore. He can just start banking money off of sponsorship deals and selling his likeness and whatnot. And he can still live comfortably. Because yeah, after next season, that would be the new #1. If if he did win the driver's title next season. Would be the new number one. How long would he want to stay? If he doesn't retire then, how long would he want to stay in F1? Is the key question. Would he want to move to a different series? Would he want to do... I took that all wrong. Would he want to do something like sports cars? Would he want to move to IndyCar? Would he ever come to the United States and start doing IndyCar? And not talking about just the Indy 500, I'm talking about full-time, a full IndyCar schedule. Would he want to do that? Hell, I mean, his predecessors were doing it before him. Graham Hill, Jim Clark, Phil Hill, Mario Andretti. But I mean, the last two were Americans, but that doesn't count. But I mean, John Surtees, Jack Brabham, that were doing IndyCar at the time back then when it was called AAA, the AAA Championship, USAC Championship. You had these F1 drivers that came over to the States and ran full USAC championships alongside with their F1 deals. Now, I'm not saying, have him run the IndyCar alongside with F1. I'm saying use IndyCar as, a place to race after his F1 days are done. Like I said, it's not unheard of. I mean, you take a look at the current crop. You look at Alexander Rossi, you look at Takuma Sato. Can't really say Fernando Alonso because Fernando has only raced in the Indy 500. Takuma Sato is actually doing seasons. Alexander Rossi is actually doing seasons. Oh, I didn't know that he created an electric rally series. But yeah, legitimately, Lewis Hamilton could be the next contender for a Triple Crown champ. Which, if we're talking about the original designation of the Triple Crown, it's Drivers' Champ, Monaco Grand Prix Champ, and IndyCar Champ. Or not IndyCar Champ, Indy 500 Champ. If we're talking about original designation, that's Triple Crown. There are some other variations of Triple Crown by saying, oh, you're a Le Mans champion. And that gets added into it as well. But I think the original designation was F1 Drivers' Champ, Monaco Grand Prix Champ, and Indy 500 Champ. If Lewis Hamilton can get into a good team here in the States, yes, he absolutely can run for Triple Crown champ for the Indy 500. Absolutely, he can do it. Well, yeah, I'm sure Lewis owes Mercedes a ton for everything that has been given to him and everything that he's given to Mercedes, too. I mean, let's not get it twisted. It's been a very symbiotic relationship. Lewis wins, helps out Mercedes. Mercedes, in turn, helps him out by, making the car better and better. But honestly, there comes a point in time there, Nanu, where you can't help but feel that he's only doing it for then selfish reasons. Yeah, he may want to not just be the all-time record holder in all these records in F1, most Grand Prix won, most drivers' titles won. And part of me thinks that he's only doing it, if he does keep doing it like that he's only doing it for selfish reasons. And that it's not really a challenge to him. he's only then stat padding. But Danny, Alonso obviously is coming back to Renault/Alpine next year for the next 2 years. I don't know if he's going to go back to IndyCar after that contract is up. Part of me thinks that pretty much he's going to retire after his 2-year stint with Renault/Alpine. That he's going to straight up retire. Because Alonso's over 40 at this point in time. It's another one of those, he's just doing this as a payday. Because Renault are not going to be all that great next year. Pretty sure that Fernando at this point in time is just the literal designation of pay driver. He's bringing sponsors to Renault Alpine, and he himself is just basically doing it for the money. So, yeah, I don't see him going back to IndyCar to race a full season. If anything, he'd be doing Indy 500 again and just only the Indy 500. But he would not be running full seasons like Takuma Sato, like Alexander Rossi, and all that. Oh, that's going to be a... Oh, I'm surprised. I thought they were going to call that as a corner cut. Fernando Alonso's got an Amazon Prime documentary out? I did not know that. He won Le Mans 3 times? Okay. That I definitely didn't know about him, because part of me thinks that he won in his class, like he was not the overall winner at Le Mans. Yeah, Teichman, it should. I have corner cuts set to strict, and we have seen, especially at Austria, we have seen that the game can recognize a corner cut. Especially when I don't really go more than halfway over, it recognizes a corner cut. Oh no, sorry, it wasn't Austria, it was Silverstone. We saw it on Thursday. Oh yeah, TH. I'll just call him Martin. Yeah, the 2-year contract with Renault Alpine is pretty much a done deal for him, in the fact that he will be done after that contract. Like I said, at this point in time in his career, he's over 40. He was just looking for that one last payday. And then he could retire off into the sunset. But then again, you look at somebody of similar age, a.k.a. Kimi Räikkönen, and say that he's just doing it because he just loves to drive. That's two different philosophies right there. Kimi just loves to drive. Fernando wants to do it for the money. That's another thing. If Kimi retires, does he just straight up fully retire, or is Kimi going to move to a different series? Could he do rally car? Could he do sports car? Kimi's definitely not doing IndyCar. That's out of the question. There's no way he's going back to IndyCar. Well, I'd say back. He never went to IndyCar. There was that one time that he raced in the early 2000s NASCAR Truck Series and NASCAR Busch/Xfinity Series, but he's not. That was a one-off. There's no way that he's going to remind ourselves of our top 3. There would be no way that he does that. What are you saying, Nanu? Honda stopping into... Yeah, we've been talking about this. Their contract with Red Bull ends in 2021, so they're good until next year. They got so well with Red Bull, you'll have to see them, how they would do in the next 3+ years afterwards. See, here's the thing. There's been a little controversy going around with Red Bull, and I posted this in my Discord last night, actually. Red Bull want to have a engine freeze on everybody in the paddock, from Mercedes all the way on down, because of the fact that they want to take the engine building in-house, whether they are going to use Honda's engine, or the rumor is that Porsche is going to come on in and replace Honda as a new engine maker, and then they will take Porsche's engine, but they want to build the engine in-house. Problem is that they want to freeze everybody else's engine development just so that they can focus on building their own, so that it can match or get better than what Honda's at. Now, that's not entirely fair now, is it? So, pretty much, the major team that is saying nay to this whole thing about the engine freeze is Ferrari. Now, I know what you're going to say. Ferrari, oh, it's Ferrari. They can't really make an engine nowadays, well, yada, yada, yada. Ferrari's really doing it for environmental reasons, because the engine that Honda is making and the engine that Red Bull wants to make based off the Honda engine supposedly is not going to pass, like, European emission standards. And Ferrari's raising a stink about it because of that. So, you gotta say that Ferrari might actually be the good guys in this, that they want if Red Bull want to make their own engine, that they are potentially going to be forced into making a more energy efficient, less emissive engine going forward. That still doesn't mean that everybody freezes engine development in order to get, Red Bull's engine up to snuff. But it is something to think about. Could that lead to them building their own engine from scratch while still using Honda, or them trying to build their own engine while Porsche comes on in and they loan in a Porsche engine for 1 year while they build their own engine? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Alright, so let me bust this up to 95 for qualifying and the race, as I always do. And then as far as my engine goes, start to move everything back over from practice to real. And as I may mention before, my turbocharger is in fact going to be a brand new turbocharger. I don't care, because I'm going to be starting near the back anyway. Might as well go fully from the back. It's a Williams. What do you expect? Might as well go fully from the back with a brand new turbocharger, take the 10 spot grid penalty, and just be done with it. I will say, probably in the next race, I will get brand new MGU-K, or MGUs in general, K and H. So, oh no, 20 spot grid penalty. Not like it matters. I'm starting near the back anyway, thanks to it being a Williams car. But as I made mention before, yeah, we are having a super soaking, wet qualifying here at Belgium, and then the race is going to have a little sprinkling of rain in it. We don't know when, we don't know how long, but there will be rain. Yes, there will be rain. The horrible sequel to Yes, There Will Be Blood. And I mean, Martin, to be fair, if everyone else is, halting development, because there's not going to be a brand new anything. Everybody's cars that they have right now on the grid are pretty much going to be the cars that will line up at the start of 2021. I think the exception is with Racing Point / Aston Martin, because of course we all know the controversy with them using the what was it, the rear ducts. I believe it was using a copycat part of Mercedes of the rear engine, or the rear ducts for aero. And that part needed to be built in-house by each team, starting with this year. It had to be built in-house with each individual team. So I think that is the only kind of leeway that any team is being given, because Racing Point need to build their own damn ducts. But other than that, everything has got to be exactly how it is right now and going into 2021, so that everything stays the same, so that nobody has an advantage either way, up or down. Which I know what you're going to say. Oh, that means Mercedes is pretty much locked up to win the championship again next year. That's true. But also, you take a look at what Mercedes has been doing for the last several years. They know what they're doing. And with the amount of resources they have, the amount of testing they can do, that's kind of what led to them having those parts, the best parts. Which I'm interested to see what the amount of testing they are going to do with the limits that are going to be put on every team. You know, the wind tunnel testing. Like, I think everyone's capped at about 1,000 hours, something like that. Of course, the salary cap, which is like something in the range of 180 million pounds per team. Or maybe even less than that. I think it's a little less than that. Which actually, there's only one team that is currently spending underneath that already, without even needing the salary cap, and that's Williams. Sad times. But yeah, Williams are currently the only ones spending underneath the salary cap amount into developing your car. Alright, so we still don't know what the weather is going to be for the weekend. They just do not want to give me the weather forecast, but at least, like I said, we know that the first round of qualifying is going to be super, super wet, so everyone's going to be out there on the wet-ass tires. So that is not going to change. It's going to make each lap go for like 2 minutes. At least 2 minutes. Yeah, I'm done with that. Yeah, look at this. Look at this wet-ass race. Look at this wet-ass qualifying. It's going to suck. And it's going to suck hardcore. Oh, okay, so it's super wet in the air, but it's only intermediates out on track. There's enough water on track only to justify intermediates. I wonder if it'll actually get wet enough to go out on super wets. Well, for right now, I'm going to risk it. And I'm going to go to track. And I'm going to drive out.
Take it easy to start with. The track's wet.
I'm going to drive out so I don't get like a wet weather penalty. Because if I go flying lap, sometimes the weather will change while I'm doing my flying lap from what it was originally. Like, it could be clear blue skies. And if it said that it was going to be raining later on in the session, it could be clear blue skies, but if I do fast lap out, it could immediately swap over to the wet weather. And I would immediately be caught out on the wrong tires. Wet weather racing sucks. Are you talking about in this game, Martin? I think, honestly, Valtteri Bottas has more wins than Hamilton in my save. Valtteri Bottas is also currently the leader of the driver standings.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And Martin, thank you very much for the follow, man. Hope you are enjoying yourself this evening. I guess for yourself and for everybody else that has come to watch, aside from saying thank you very much for the viewing, where are you from? Who's your favorite driver? What's your favorite Grand Prix? And if you play this game, what is your favorite track to drive? If you couldn't tell, I have a very, very American-sounding voice. I am from the Midwest. I'm from Chicago, more specifically. My favorite driver right now is Kimi. But when he retires, I'm pretty much have already decided to switch my allegiances to Daniel Ricciardo, thanks to the Drive to Survive Netflix series. Drive to Survive is pretty much turned me on to the Daniel Ricciardo fandom. Ah, for fuck's sake, man. My favorite track in real life is Monaco. My favorite track to drive in here is Canada. But yeah, it really does not matter what type of lap I do here. Like I said, I've already got a 10-spot grid penalty. I'm only just going to do one lap out. One lap out in the round. But yeah, I don't know about you, but I've never done well driving in the wets. Silverstone's a good track. It's currently one of my top 5 to drive in this. Like I said, Canada, Montreal, Gilles Villeneuve. That's my current number 1. Then Spa. Like, on a dry day, Spa is my number 2. Then Monza, then Austria, then Silverstone. That's my top 5. Interlagos, Zandvoort, like, they're just outside the top 5. As I made mention before, I think one of these days I need to come up with a ranking system for myself, a ranking system to show you exactly which tracks I love, which tracks I hate. And while I may love to watch it IRL, I am not a fan of it in driving. I love watching Monaco IRL, but I just cannot stand driving it in-game. It's even worse in the rain. It is much worse in the rain. Like Monaco, Singapore, well, maybe not so much Singapore anymore, but Monaco, Vietnam, definitely. I absolutely despise. Spain, I'm not a big fan of. Yeah, the Circuit de Catalunya is just,
I'd
not a
take
big
a set
fan
of
of it.
intermediates in these unpredictable conditions.
Yeah, like I said, I know I'm going to start last anyway, so it doesn't really matter what time I put out there. Yeah, is there a way that I could check to see what the race is? No, it still says that it's going to be light rain in the middle. Still light rain in the middle, but nothing else. That's unfortunate. All right. Did George Russell get out of Q1? Because George Russell's gotten out of Q1 a couple of times. I got out of Q1 once at the Dutch Grand Prix. Did George Russell get out of it? No, he did not. He's going to start 18th. We're waiting to see what Portimao looks. Yeah, Portimao kind of looks like Barcelona, or am I thinking of Estoril? Yeah, let's take a look and see what the Portimao circuit. Oh no, it's Estoril. Yeah, it's Estoril. That's I'm thinking of Estoril circuit. Yeah, because if you take a look, Shaw. Yeah, this is what the Algarve, aka Portimao circuit looks like. It looks okay. It definitely has some treacherous spots, like Lagos here, that a hairpin turn 3, a hairpin turn 5, sweeping curves, like 6, like 9, double apex 10, double apex 13, sweeping 14 leading to the start-finish straight. So yeah, it looks interesting. In fact, you take a look at this little chicane right here. I kind of want to say that they're going to implement this chicane for the race. They are not going to go turn 1 fast sweeping right into turn 2. They just can't. With the way that the FIA has built tracks and has set up like rules for tracks nowadays, they're not going to institute this straight sweeping right. They're going to have it heavy braking zone into the chicane, right, left, right into Lagos. Not Interlagos, into Lagos. I think that's what they're going to do. I don't know if they're going to go and institute this as like the break off of the sweeping. But as far as, but you know, this is, like I said, this is what I'm just looking at on Wikipedia right now. But yeah, Estoril. And here's the thing, Estoril was one of those tracks that I looked at it. It's like, it kind of looks like Barcelona in a way. It looks like Barcelona, but not. Because it's got the long, very long start-finish straight that leads to a very tight turn 1. It's got the curve in turn 3 and turn 4 that kind of look like what turn 4, turn 5 is, or 5 and 6, I think, for Spain. It's got turn 6, which is, you know, the heavy braking, sweeping right-hander. It's not the hairpin that Spain has, but it's kind of like what the layout, old Spain layout was. Then there are little tricky sections up in here, little double hairpin, like switchback chicane. And then the parabolica, the Senna parabolica that almost acts like, you know, the end of Monza. And the end of Spain, too. The fast, sweeping right-hander that gets you right onto the start-finish straight. So, it's all going to be interesting. Without a doubt, it is going to be interesting. But yeah, as far as the 5 that didn't make it, myself, Magnussen, Russell, Grosjean, and Giovinazzi. So both Williams, Haas, and one of the Alphas. Alfa Romeo, that is.
Good day today.
Jesus,
Let's have your take
I don't
on
care.
it.
Good day. No, it wasn't. I finished in
Do you
last.
think that grid penalty was justified?
Yes. I needed a new part.
Your qualifying pace didn't put you at the front of the grid. Well, this interesting result today. Would you say that you're happy?
Would you say
What
that you're
exactly
happy
was
that
it
you
you weren't
got last
happy about?
place? No. No. Come on now.
Appreciate your time.
I didn't appreciate yours. Seriously, the Claire interviews are just getting silly now. They really are. I don't know about you guys, but Claire just feels like a big old drain. But yeah, Martin, we'll take a look at what exactly this season has gone on so far. Like I said, this is still season 1 for me. Still season 1 at Williams. Still trying to build the car out. Hell, season 2 is just going to be doing more of that, building the car out so it's at least competitive.
So, unfortunately, we've
I
picked
don't
up some grid
care.
penalties, and we'll be starting further back than you expect. As for
Like-
how bad it is, that'll depend on what...
But yeah, as I may mention before, yeah, Bottas and Hamilton have won the majority of the races this season. Bottas has won 4. Hamilton has also won 4, so they're equal on that. The other wins coming from either Leclerc or Vettel. Yes, I know, that sounds weird. But yeah, Leclerc and Vettel have won races because, of course, this is Ferrari pre-update. I think they'll get the update in Season 2, but this is Ferrari pre-update, so of course they're pretty damn
other
good.
drivers get.
Alright, can we get a weather forecast? Alright, so we actually know when the weather is going to hit. It's going to be cloudy all day with a little bit of rain. Take these boxes as like 5-minute boxes. So figure these boxes are 5-minute boxes each throughout the course of the race. Actually, probably maybe like 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Maybe 6 or 7 minutes apiece. So figure the rain is going to be coming in about 15 minutes in. I would say the rain is going to start coming in 15 minutes in. It may last for like about 20 minutes. And then it'll be dry, or at least cloudy the rest of the race. Okay, so figure 15 minutes is about 7 laps. 7 to 8 laps into a 22-lap race. Then it'll be raining, say, roughly the next 10. And then it'll be... Well, there won't be any rain, but who knows if it'll be dry enough to switch out onto slicks for the final stint of the race. So figure lap 7, it'll start raining. Lap 17 or 18, it'll finish raining. It may dry up by lap 21 or lap 22, but like I said, that's right near the end of the race. I don't think the AI is going to switch up their tires right at the end of the race. So we'll just have to wait and see. So keep those numbers in mind, because that's kind of what I'm going to be going by. Lap 7 for start of rain, lap 18 for the end of rain, and maybe lap 21 for ability to swap out tires.
We're in Belgium once again for today's round of the Formula One World Championship. It's a race the great Ayrton Senna won 6 times, and in 2019, Charles Leclerc became the first driver to take their maiden win here since Michael Schumacher in 1992. Spa-Francorchamps today, a circuit that spans 4.35 miles. There are tons of elevation changes along the way too. 19 corners making up this circuit, with 9 of those to the right and the remaining 10 to the left. This track is a great one for fans of pure speed. The average lap speed comes close to a whopping 145 miles an hour. Joining us today to oversee all the thrills and spills, it's Anthony Davidson. And great to see you. How are you feeling about the race today, and how are the circuit conditions from what you've seen?
Well, it's looking a bit cold out there, if I'm honest. These tyres have quite a narrow operating window in terms of the temperatures they need to extract the best grip. So with a cold track surface, it's going to be harder to keep those temperatures up, which will lead to lower grip and maybe more mistakes.
Before we begin, let's take a quick
look at the grid
lineup for today's race. Good job yesterday from Valtteri Bottas. The Finn starts from pole position, and it's Charles Leclerc in P2. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Vettel, Ricciardo, Lewis Hamilton, and Sainz, Perez, Stroll, Norris, and Alexander Albon, Ocon, Kvyat, Kimi Räikkönen, and Verstappen, Giovinazzi,
Verstappen's got a grid penalty,
Magnussen, and Pierre
Gasly's got a grid penalty, so does Russell, and well, obviously myself.
Now, it's almost time for lights out, so
But Verstappen's starting in 14th. That's going to be interesting.
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down.
All right, so yeah, I think I am going to start on the soft tires to last me until the rain comes. I think that's what the majority of everyone else is going to do, too. Let's see what the race director says. Bottas, Leclerc, Vettel, Hamilton, all starting on mediums. Most everybody else on the soft tires. So, yeah, at this point in time, I am going to stay on the soft tires, so I will wear them down. I will wear them down until the rain hits, and then, of course, swap out to the intermediates. The intermediates should last the rest of the race if, you know, it is going to be rain for the majority of the race. Track might dry out, might stay wet, might stay justifying the intermediates, but I will at least have the soft tires going up until the switchover. So there we go. We're going with that. Starting last. Crossing fingers that there is a DNF so that I don't finish in last place again. So with that being said, let's get this underway. Very underwhelming start here. Correct, this is driver career, not my team career. I'm pretty much done with Gendo F1 Racing my team. If I do another my team, I'm gonna start with a new team. Wow, lap 1. Lap 1, I already got a track exceeding limit warning. of course, as a reminder to everybody and just information for those that don't know, I give myself 3 flashbacks. 3 flashbacks for anything that happens bad. Like whether it's a crash, whether it's, you know, maybe a bad corner cut or something like that that I just don't deem should have happened in the first place. But I give myself 3 flashbacks, and then after that, or a busted front wing too. So if anything bad happens, I use a flashback, and then after all 3 that I used up, I will then try to drive it out like normal. What has been a problem for me for the majority of these races is by the time that the DRS spot opens up, I'm usually more than a second back of the next car in front of me. So I can't really DRS train or help with the DRS train. No, because it's not the actual race. Practice is exactly that, it's practice. And I've used multiple instances of flashbacks in qualifying too. Like I said, it's only for the actual race. Alright, George, you gotta hope that you are in DRS range when we get to the top of the fucking Kemmel Straight.
DRS is being enabled this lap. We can use DRS when you are within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone.
Counter suggestion, I like cockpit view because it's the most real. And, oh, that's right, you weren't here for my iRacing race that I had earlier. iRacing, I come from iRacing, where the camera is strictly cockpit view. There is no other camera angle. So I have to drive it from the driver's perspective. And I mean, honestly, driving from any other perspective with a wheel is really
Okay, we don't think we're far away from some rain. I'll keep you updated as the conditions change.
But like with the new model of the IndyCar Dallara IR8 or IR18, it has the aero screen, its own aero screen and halo pillar. And there's no way that I can get around switching halo pillar off or switching camera view. I have to deal with it as it is. And have done so before I even got into playing the F1 games. I only started playing F1 back in April. So I prefer the cockpit view. Plus 9% of the time I'm not looking down the middle, I'm looking to the left or to the right. Seeing who's around me, seeing what turns are coming up. At least George is getting a DRS piggyback off of Kevin Magnussen. But yeah, I'm sticking to my numbers, 7, 18, and 21, I think is what I originally said. 7 when the rain starts, 18 when the rain ends, and potentially 21 when we can potentially swap off of slicks. But like I said, the AI, or swap off 2 slicks. I don't think the AI will do it. I think the AI is going to stay on intermediates. AI is really stubborn with tire changes at times. Really lose a lot of time in that section. Down from the carousel to Powhon. Through Stabilo. Through the Paul Frere Straight, and then Blanchemont, which is that sweeping left-handed turn up to the chicane. I seem to lose all my time there. It's like coming up to the carousel, like, I don't think that's gonna work. And who knows, the AI might be using higher fuel mix. They could be using push to pass here instead of where I'm using it on the Kemmel Straight. They're probably also using it there too. They're probably just being more efficient. I mean, it's also the AI. Of course, they're going to be more efficient with their shifting, with their acceleration.
Okay, be careful on those slicks. These conditions are making the line a bit greasy, but we're still nowhere near the changeover point.
I see the water. I see the water. So change my original prediction. Maybe lap 7 is when they're going to want me to get on the wet tires. 'Cause, yeah, rain is officially coming on down. Can I pass Magnussen on the Kemmel Straight? It's looking very likely if I can, draft him. I've got the overtake button on. I've got the rich fuel mixture on. Oh, it's going to go 3 wide. You cunt bag. Nah, that was all my fault. Alright. First flashback down. Like, that's okay, I'll just go the other side. Like I originally planned and then chickened out. I believe that is overtake number 15, Teichman.
Okay, some information on Magnussen. They're slowing down. It seems like there's some kind of problem with their car.
Gee, no shit. I could have told you that. It says that he's slowing down and he's actually catching up to me. Which is it, Jeff? Is he slowing down or is he speeding back up again?
The track conditions aren't improving. It's your choice as to whether you want to fit the wets next time you come in. Understood. Stopping this lap.
It is starting to get a little slippery, but I don't feel like the changeover point is there just yet. Hell, the changeover might happen while I'm out on this lap. Yeah, the changeover's on this lap. I'm coming in.
The tyre situation is an interesting one, but I think the right call is to stick with what we've got right now.
Oh, swing it out wide. All right, coming in for intermediates. Which may or may not be a lap early. But we're going to give it a go right now. See, it's Sainz and Ricciardo pitted for hards.
Release, release.
I'm a little shocked that they pit for hards when they know they got to come in and pit again.
That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops.
PRL Anarchy, thank you very much for the follow, dude. Hope you're doing well. Hope you enjoy the stream. Well, just by doing that, I know that I came in too early. Just by having that happen to me, I know I came in too early. Yeah, it started raining 3 laps ago, Anarchy. I probably should have looked at my tire temperature on the softs before I did anything. Because if my tire temperature was showing to be cold, then yeah, that would have been the best time to do it. Shit! Well, we're in the rain now, so it doesn't matter. Another rule that's part of my stream: if it's raining, it's unlimited unlimited flashbacks because I cannot drive in the rain. George in the pits.
George is coming in for his stop.
And in fact, quite a number of drivers coming into pit. Come on. Come on.
We pretty much burned off our excess fuel. We'll be back on target soon. Don't wait too long to turn the engine down.
Palermo coming on in with a sub for 2 months, dude. Welcome back to the Gendo Gangster. Hi, Gendo. Hi, Palermo. Alright, so I basically pit one
Okay,
lap
the stewards
later.
have now disabled DRS. DRS is now disabled.
I pit one lap later than I thought I would need to. Or shit. Alright, where's my whiteboard? Because that's another user comment saying if I want to take the Halo column off. Anarchy, no. I'm fine with it as is. Adds a sense of realism to it. I know what you're about to say, oh, but you're using the driving line. Still need it because I don't know how to get around half these tracks. And it's corners only. But no, I prefer the full realism. And like I said before, you were probably here when I said it originally. I come from iRacing, where you are cockpit mode only, and you gotta deal with everything in the cockpit. No matter what's there, you can't turn anything off. That being said, the iRacing's newest model for the Dallara, the IndyCar Dallara, that has the aero screen with a halo pillar in it, you can't get rid of that. So I learned how to drive with a halo pillar in my face from that before I even touched F1. Yeah, one of these days I'm going to get the driving line off. But like I said, before I even got into this game, I didn't know half the goddamn tracks. So this is a way to help me get around some of these tracks. Even if it's not like the proper time to brake, like sometimes I may need to start braking earlier. It does give me an idea of how to go about attacking these tracks. But I mean, if you play in the cockpit mode and you have the halo pillar off, that's fine. You play how you want to play it. You want to drive T-pillar? Drive T-pillar. Or helmet cam is what one of the other people said. I think it was Danny said earlier. Drive like that, and if it's enjoyable for you, then by all means, go ahead and do it. Playing video game, no matter what video game you play, it's all about playing for enjoyment. And with what I have with my setup right now, it's what's most enjoyable for me.
You're doing well out there. Keep it up. We're looking at about 10 more minutes of rain. 10 minutes.
Alright, given if that is accurate, if that's accurate or not, I don't know. But that's roughly another 5 laps of rain, maybe 6. And as I said before, weather forecasts are never right. So I'm thinking maybe another 6 more laps of rain, so that would put me at about lap 17. Once again, a lap off of my prediction. Which, if in fact the track does dry off enough, we're probably looking at lap 20 then. We're probably going to be looking at lap 20 for a full dry off. Oh, God damn it. How's the tank racing today? It's going about as well as you'd expect. We took a new part, so we started dead last. It didn't really matter because we qualified last place anyway, because it was super wet qualifying. Actually, I thought for a time very nice trip. I actually thought for a time I was actually gaining ground on some of the cars behind me. Like, I thought I was gaining ground on Sainz, on Magnussen, on Ricciardo. That is clearly not the case now, as they are started to close the gap. And as you see with Sainz, he closed up and passed, for fuck's sake.
A new strategy is available on the MFD.
Well, if I said, I don't like rain racing. We're halfway through this race, though. We're 11 laps down. We got 11 to go. I guess that's the one thing I like about Spa as well, is as far as sheer lap volume, it's not that long. For sheer lap volume, it's not that long. It only, 44 laps if you're doing 100% distance, 22 if it's 50. It's just the one race tonight. Yep. One race tonight. Because we did tour trucks earlier, and well, tour trucks also ran long. But unless I say otherwise, plan for one F1 race on Saturdays.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Isaiah TV, thank you very much for the file, dude. Hope you're doing well. Hope you enjoy the stream. Try as best as you can. Gape in horror as you take a look at the state of my wet driving. But surprisingly, right now, nobody is DNF'd. We're 12 laps into a 22-lap race, and nobody has DNF'd yet. Shit. I just realized I forgot to change my differential in the rain. It's like, oh yeah, that could be a problem. Not having the right rain differential. Because in a dry race, I have my differential set to 53. In intermediate weather, I set it to 63, and in heavy wet rain, I set it to 68. Which I've been told is a good balance for the wet weather, on throttle, off throttle. Like I said, I'm losing time.
You've been
Alright,
awarded
I'll
a
take
time
that one,
penalty for
whatever.
that last incident.
Whatever, I'll take that one. But I'm losing time from after the Brussels Carousel all the way here. All the way here to Blanchemont. And I don't know how to make it up. Yeah, obviously the rain is, not helping matters. But it's all those turns between that carousel, down to Pauhon, down to Stavolo, that really are just absolutely doing my head in. So I've got a 3-second time penalty now, and as it stands, I am going to finish ahead of Magnussen. That is, if I can keep that gap that I have. And as you can see, from the hairpin down Eau Rouge up Radillon, down the Kemmel Strait, I am making that time back. Every little piece of time I lose from this carousel coming up all the way down to the chicane at the end of Blanchemont, I make it all back in the first sector. See, right there at Powhon, I just lost 2/10. Just lost 2/10 on Magnuson. Lost another 2/10 there. I'm also trying to fight off Ricardo. Lost another 2/10 almost down here at Blanchemont. Still got 8 laps, so it's, I probably can keep it. I'm hoping I can keep it. But with each lap, I lose more and more time down sectors 2 and 3.
It's not a perfect situation, but I don't think we have cause to move on to a different tyre yet.
I lose more time in sectors 2 and 3 than I can make back in sector 1. Taking some of these turns hella sketch, though, definitely does not help my cause. I don't know how Garrett Smithley factors into this equation, Samuel. Ah, for fuck's sake.
Check your MFD for a new strategy option.
Alright, so it has stopped raining. And if I get back onto any tires, they will be soft tires. That much is for sure. since it's not raining anymore. Drop my differential back down to 53 since we're not raining anymore.
Be aware we expect the grip levels to start falling away soon.
That's cool. When do you want me to pit? Next lap? The lap after?
Confirmed, we'll receive you at the end of this lap.
DRS is enabled. Means we are good to go for slick tires. Which means we'll have 5 laps left.
There's 5 laps of fuel remaining.
Come around and pit for slick tires.
A
and there'll
new
be 5
strategy is
laps.
available on the MFD.
Bro, I already know. I'm coming in. You do not need to tell me. I know. Yeah, what's the strategy? Oh, you want to come in? Yeah, no shit, bud. I know I'll be coming in. So is everybody else. I mean, I hate that we're going to be double
George is in
stacking,
the
but
pits.
everybody's going to be
George in
coming
the
into the
pits.
pits. Like, this is the one thing that's going to fucking eat at me is because we're going to be all double stacked. Every single team is double stacking. Alright.
Exit now. You'll be
Get out.
racing as you leave the pits.
Alright, here we go. As it stands right now, I am going to be finishing in last. Magnussen is within 3 seconds of me. Unless someone DNFs now, I'm pretty much guaranteed last place. But then again, wouldn't it be fucking obvious that I would finish in dead last place with a car that just does not have the speed on a track that requires speed? I can tell you this right now, I'm definitely not Lightning McQueen because I am not speed. When I'm topping out at 195 miles an hour, everyone else is at least going 200, maybe 205 plus. I am not speed. I'm the antithesis of speed.
There's 4 laps of fuel remaining.
Yeah, and that's the thing, he's gonna catch me too. It's not just that I am the antithesis of speed, it's Magnussen is going to catch me. And even with the 3-second time penalty, it looks like it's not even going to matter. It almost looks like that wouldn't even matter if I had the 3-second time penalty. Magnussen is going to catch past me before the race is over. Double apex left to Palhon. Stop a little corner down here. Down to the Paul Frere S's. Blanchmont right here. Yeah, look at Magnussen. Dude, he is fucking motoring. His asshole is motoring right now. Just call him Sister Christian the way he's motoring. Oh shit, no. The song's called Sister Christian. What was the name of the band? Shit, what was the name of the band that did Sister Christian? It's blanking. My mind is blanking right now. Was it Whitesnake? No, it wasn't Whitesnake. Night Ranger, that was it. And I'm like, who the hell
We
did
have 2
Sister
laps of
Christian?
fuel remaining.
That's right, the band's name was Night Ranger. If it looks like I'm blocking him, you're right. You are absolutely right. Now look at this, I'm only going a measly, a paltry 195 miles an hour. I was gonna say, at this point in time, a secondary warning, or not warning, a secondary penalty would not matter to me. And there he goes. It's like, I have not seen a Haas move that fast. Well, yeah, in comparison to a Williams, Haas is fucking deadly. In comparison to a Williams, Haas might as well be fucking Lightning McQueen. That's the breaking point, god damn it. And yeah, ladies and gentlemen, this will be the first race that I will finish, finally, in 20th out of 20. No longer this, oh, I was last car running, but I wasn't last place BS. Nope. Nope, hate to be that bearer of bad news, but this is the first race where I am going to pull up dead last, proper dead last in the running order. But such is life in a Williams, eh? Stuff that I've got to deal with first season. What's going on, JJ? Ah, man.
There's only one lap of fuel remaining.
So yeah, Monday we're gonna have Monza in Singapore. Yeah, but they were nowhere close. Valtteri Bottas just won this race. Dodo the Explorer, thank you very much for the follow, dude. But yeah, Bottas was, what was that? Bottas was like 50 seconds behind me. Like, I wasn't just gonna pull over to the side of the road and let him, like, wait for 50 seconds just for him to pass me. I was gonna race this out. It sucks, but it's growing pains. It's growing pains with Williams. Yeah, obviously the 3-second time penalty didn't do me any favors, but as you can clearly see, it's not like it mattered in the grand scheme. And there is the cross up finish line. Our first
That's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Ferme.
Our first proper last place 20th out of 20. No longer last car running bullshit, but people DNFing because their cars break down. Nope. Last car running,
What a great
last
race
car
then, and
finishing.
what a magnificent victory here at the Belgium Grand Prix.
Garbage. As that is garbage.
Talk to me, Ants. What was it that set them apart
Yeah,
from
Bottas
the competition
wins.
today?
Well, this was a real team victory. They put
Yeah,
After
good
an
for
excellent
you.
performance at the Grand Prix, I'm
Bottas
sure there'll be
wins,
plenty
Hamilton
of
second,
celebrations
it's Charles
tonight
Leclerc
amongst the
finishing in
Mercedes
third.
team, and they certainly deserve it.
And Aiden, I will get to that after this race. I'll do the wall sit after this is all said and done. Oh, hey, I got a weekly bonus that doesn't matter anymore because I am already tier 30. Does not matter in the slightest.
So, let's review the driver's standings.
So, yes, let's review. Bottas, Hamilton, Leclerc is your podium. Then you got Vettel and Albon, your top 5. Norris, Ocon, Perez, Kvyat, Max Verstappen, only getting 1 point. To be fair, he did start in 14th. But that should not excuse somebody like Max Verstappen finishing only in 10th place. We've seen people drive up through the grid before, especially in the save, that started down near the back and got top 5s, even podiums. So Max got to do better than that. Kimi, Lance, Grosjean,
4
Gasly
points
is
for
14.
Valtteri Bottas, further solidifying.
Then Sainz, Giovinazzi, Ricciardo, Russell, Magnussen, and myself. We still have no points. We still are big old goose egg next to our team name.
his lead at the top
Nothing
of the
really I could do. Nothing really I could do there. Except try to make the car better. And we're losing rivalries left, right, and center. But once again, what else can I do? I thought that I would choose Giovinazzi because he continuously averages around 15th place at the start and finish as well. So imagine my shock when I all of a sudden start seeing him get points. When I all of a sudden start seeing him get points for Alfa Romeo after I started this rivalry. That was kind of a little tipping point for me. It's like, really? You're going to give him points after I start a rivalry with him? And it's like I could have chose him, Kimi, and both of the Alpha Tauris. And I think at the time it was that Giovinazzi was the one that was not doing the best. So that's why I chose him. So you would have thought, hey, this could be probably up my alley. I could, maybe sneak a finishing spot ahead of him, especially if he DNFs. But no, that has not been the case for the last 4 races. As Giovinazzi has finished 14th. Hell, no, it was the last 5 races. Finished 8th, 14th, 13th, 9th, and 16th. Like, what are you doing? Are you serious? I all of a sudden try to get a rivalry with him, and he starts absolutely going off with results. But as I may mention before, it's not like I've been doing all that great either. Basically, outside of the one outlier of 14th at the Dutch Grand Prix, I have finished no higher than 17th. In fact, most of my results are either 18th or 19th. Well, like I said, that's all thanks in part to Car's DNFing and not allowing me to finish in last place. Until today, until the Belgian Grand Prix, where we have, in fact, finished in last place for the first time. I hope that is not going to be a recurring theme, as I want to make this car bigger and better and not just get myself better. I just want points. I want to get myself points. I want George to get points, and George was close. He got 11th at Hungary, but so far that's the closest he's gotten to points. Speaking of George, this is what George looks like as far as his rating goes. Currently an 84 rating, not bad whatsoever. Boosted stats, as you can see, they're 5, 10 for experience, but boosted stats. How will that actually turn out in the grand scheme of things? Who knows? As far as my R&D tree, as I may mention before, I am pausing all development on the R&D tree until the Japanese Grand Prix, the regulations coming down at the Japanese Grand Prix. But this is what it looks like right now. 1 for durability, 2 for powertrain. It says 6, but that's because of the updates. I believe it is 6 for aero. Currently 6 for aero, about to be 7, as 1 is being fixed and built out. And currently 7 for the chassis. Will be 8 because 1 is being built out there. I have a very, very strong feeling that the regulation is going to come down for both the chassis and the aero. Chero, if you will, as I was about to say. I don't think either the Department of Durability or Powertrain will be touched, just because, as you can see, there isn't really anything built out into it. But we shall cross our fingers and hope that the random number generator picks either one of these departments so I could continuously build out the chassis and the aero. Because as you can clearly see, it started out as the 2 worst as far as the bar graph. And the aero still shows to be, the worst. It's not all that great. But yeah, at this point in time, it's all about building stuff out, building the car out. Got 2 things coming down the chassis. As you can see, the heave dampers, I was about to say heavy. The heave dampers will be done before the Monza Grand Prix, and then the other 2 will be done before the Singapore Grand Prix, which at that time will not move my car performance up ahead of anybody, but it will be close to Renault and Haas. And look at Renault. Renault's development, it's second to last. Like, what happened with Renault? It looks like they just stopped development completely. But all those teams in the mid pack, Renault, basically from Renault to McLaren, from 9th to 5th, they're all bunched together. We're getting there. We're getting close. But they're all bunched together in the mid-pack. If we could start getting in to the mid-pack and having the results on the grid show, then I think that come this time next season, we could probably see our first points. Maybe a 10th place somewhere, either myself or George, getting a 10th place somewhere to finally put Williams on the board. Facilities-wise, as you can see, the one thing that Williams is loving to do is piss me off, and they continuously want to build up the durability instead of the other 3 that matter, the chassis, aero, and the powertrain. None of these are being built up, but somehow they've been putting money into durability. I don't know why. We know the engine durability is going to suck for the first 2 years, so that is always the last thing that I built out and put my time and effort into, so I don't know why they're throwing their time and effort, their money, into the durability facility. Seems like a waste of time. Please tell me. God damn it, the heave dampers didn't work.
Issue on the production line earlier this week.
Why?
So the entire development package for this weekend.
Why are you continuously failing? I will say this right now.
Any redevelopments?
I'm going to say this right now, and it really is a bit of a pisser, is that the failure chance for all of these is around 30%. Like, it starts off default at 30% failure chance for all these parts. I think somewhere around the 11th or 12th part that I built out, it had already failed 9 times. It's a 75% failure rate. It always seems like that my parts want to cause me more trouble and will take more time to build out. More trouble than it's worth, really. It's trying to make it harder for me because I'm a Williams. It's making it harder for me.